What is up, guys? Average John here again. Today we are working on, once again, the Franken stool. Now, it has been brought to my attention on our issue with our chain slack here. So we got a lot of play in there. I couldn't get it stretched tight enough to take a link out, and the only option I could go was to move this rear end. But I was told that on these motors, you can adjust them forward and backwards. When there's 4 bolts here, 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 and here that bolt the motor to the frame. And I started looking at that, and I was like, man, that'd be awesome. Except this chain here, which is for your clutch. I got to looking a little bit more, and you can actually undo these here, or there's a bolt here and then a bolt, I don't know if you can see one there, and this shaft here will slide forward and back. So I think we're gonna have to go ahead and loosen up all 6 of those bolts and make markings on everything, even everything out, and get stuff slid to where it needs to be, so when you're off-roading on this bad boy right here, the chain doesn't fall off. And I don't know if I showed you guys, I don't remember, but there was a piece of frame that went from here to here that I cut out, that somebody had made an attempt to cut out or something. They just notched it just enough for that sprocket. So that was a no-go. Just went ahead and just cut it all off. But that's what I did. And I think today I'm going to take off the brake and pull the pads on it and go up to the local ATV store and see if they don't have pads for it. Worst thing is they say no, and I'll probably spend a couple bucks on them. It sounds like Keaton went ahead and is trying to order a new brake system for it, a hydraulic brake system, which is cool. But I want it to be safe this weekend, or semi-safe, at least have some sort of brakes. It's not safe at all. At least have some sort of brake system for it that is semi-functional, or at least get you slowed down a little bit before you go ahead and just pile it into the side of somebody's car downtown. So that is what I'm going to go ahead and do. I thought about changing out the sprocket still. It's a lot of work. I don't know if I'm up for the challenge. I'm gonna go ahead and look into that a little bit more, but I'm gonna go ahead and get these bolts loosened up and mark everything. After talking all that crap on myself about how I wasn't gonna take the sprocket off the mini bike, that real ghetto one, went ahead and did it, cut the chain. I actually didn't even have to cut it because they didn't even have it pinned off or anything, or nothing like that. So I went ahead, took that sprocket off, sized it up on there. It should work. Just so everybody knows, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So this is about to be super ghetto, but the whole project is really ghetto. So if it works, I mean, it works, you know? And I think one of the big things Keaton wanted was a smaller sprocket. So Keaton, buddy, you're getting one. So now I just got to drill out the rivets on this and take that one off of there and shorten the chain up. I'm gonna have to shorten the chain up because I know there's not enough adjustment in that. So like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing on this Franken stool. It's super ghetto, but you know what? Some of the most ghetto stuff you do in life is the most fun stuff you do. And that's why it's called doing hood rat stuff with your friends. After watching about 2 to 3 Red Green episodes and a lot of how to ghetto stuff together, here we are. I have a sick new sprocket on there off the old mini bike. I had to grind the old rivets off and then punch them through. The new sprocket lined up, so went ahead and just bolted it on. Had to shorten the chain. It is gonna need a new chain, but you know, if you don't want stuff to be ghetto, I guess leave more room in the budget. So now we're gonna go ahead and push this motor forward, tighten everything, lube the chain, start it up. And I did not have to move the motor. I ended up moving this secondary shaft here forward and back. So there's enough play and everything so it won't snap. But yeah, so I started up, ran it. There's a lot of hard spots in the chain. I lubed up, worked out and stuff, so I had to adjust it a couple times. But it ended up coming out. I started it up. It ran really good. So now it's time to take it outside and test it. The brakes still don't work worth a crap, but we'll just kind of have to see. Also, when I did start everything up, I ran it through a couple times, did a couple cycles with it, and revved it here and there. Put it back down, tightened everything up, just double checked everything to make sure nothing would come loose out on the road. So all I have to do now is move the Trans Am back, open up the door, and go ahead and push this outside, start it up, and get some footage of it going up and down the road. I'm gonna do a lot better than what I did last time for you guys, so here we go. I got the Franken stool started up here. Just pushed it outside, gonna let it warm up for a second and go ahead and take it for a little test drive here. I'm gonna do it once without the camera so that way I can kind of figure stuff out. I did tack weld the handlebars, so now you can turn it without the handlebars flopping back on itself. So we'll go ahead and give her a shot here. Franken stool has a lot more low end torque now, so she's a little bit of a ride to handle. So I'm gonna go ahead, set the camera down and film it. And the chain did come out of adjustment again. I just guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and tighten it back up. It's not bad, but it's not great either. So I'm gonna have to go ahead, push it back forward and do that again. It is a little bit of a handful to hold on to, but the top speed isn't as bad anymore, so you're not trying to hold on for your life except when you take off. But let's go ahead and take her down the road here real quick. You still have to stop with your foot here. Nonetheless, not bad. Still needs a few things, but gonna go ahead and get those fixed. I'm gonna blow it off, readjust the chain, and I think she'll be at least ready to go for this weekend.